Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is a special edition of Unger the Radar, where we talk all things film. And with me today is filmmaker Pavel Lungin of the new drama Esau. Pavel, the film is wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm happy you like it because it was a new experience for me. You know, it was my first English speaking film, so I was not sure.
Yeah. Well, you did a wonderful job. Was it stressful getting into that? I know it's your first English language film. Um, Talk about that. How challenging that was for you.
Look, it was really challenging. First of all, it's in English, and of course, I am co-writer of the script, but at the same time, you know. I've written it in Russian, and you know I'm Jew, but it's quite a different thing to be a Jew, a Russian Jew, and to be an Israeli, and so all this culture changes was on me and directing of actor, because what I prefer to do is to direct actors, and I had wonderful actors, uh, so it was really stressful. And it was summer, it was really hot. It was Israel, and the story is difficult. You know, the story is difficult because it's some kind of biblical fable about Jacob and Esau.
Mm-hmm.
And but Meir Shalev he was changing everything, the places. It was very paradoxal tale when one plays the role of another, and you never understand what is going on. At the same time, it's a story for me about what we are losing in our life, and if it's possible to coming back, if it's possible to create one more time family and love. And
Beautiful.
I don't know, perhaps you can tell me better than I.
Sure. No. It's a really powerful story of family and redemption, trying to get on the good side of your family to be on the same page, and it's all about respect and love. And the main characters, they're a little confused, but they're searching for what they want out of life, and they want connection and family. So I think that's what Esau is all about.
Yes, and it was, for me, it was a very big thing to work with Harvey Keitel, who is one of my favorite actors from my childhood, not childhood, but he's not so much older than I, but at the same time, it was like to touch somebody very precious to me, and I was very happy that we had a very close relationship, and it was some kind of friendship that we could create between us.
Mm-hmm. And what was it like putting the cast together? These are some wonderful actors you have here. What was it like casting the film?
I'm sorry, I was, I forgot already. It was a wonderful girl, one of the best Israeli casting agent, and I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, but she was quite an angel for me. Harvey Keitel, I choose myself, and Lior Ashkenazi, I've seen him before, and I understood that it has to be him, but all the rest, it was her casting.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Wonderful cast. Wonderful cast. And how important is teamwork for you, to collaborate with the actors? How important is to build a team and to carry out a plan with your team of actors and crew?
Yes, you are absolutely right. You know, cinema is really a job of the crew, of the family.
Yeah.
and you have to create this family, and you have to live to live with them. And you know,
Mm.
very often for me, actors are co-author with me, and because we are doing a lot of improvisation.
Mm.
I make a step, they make another step, I make another step, and in the end we can see that something very interesting appears. I'm in love with actors.
Mhm. That's
It's
great.
really so important. I always have good connection with actors, because you know I cannot act. I can only show, but it's some kind of sketch that I show. I'm talking to them. I'm showing, but I cannot play it. So it's like really we have to do together.
That's wonderful.
But you
So
know,
about the team.
bad actors is very. I didn't see a lot of bad actors. You know, an actor is some kind of flower who opens. You have to love him, to cover him with something, you know, with your face, with your love, and suddenly he opens like a flower, really. And
Mhm.
um,
Okay.
I know there are directors who, on the contrary, they work with actors like boxers. It also can give very good results when the actor he's like challenging the director, challenging the story.
Mhm.
Uh, mm, mm, but I'm doing with love.
Mhm. That's great. Um, Tell me about the filming locations. They're really beautiful. Was this filmed in Israel?
Yes, it was totally filmed in Israel. You know, we did find in old kibbutz, it's about 30, 40 kilometers from Jerusalem.
Mm.
We did find in an old kibbutz some uh, abandoned mm, houses. It was barns, because I don't know. I think that it was made by Englishmen, English army in 20s, and it was quite abandoned. And in my crew was also a mixture of different nationality. My art director was from Russia,
Mm.
and he created a whole village with these two with these two houses. We made an original set. It was a lot of work and a lot of money, because all these little villages made of different sides and of something that we were constructing little houses around of this old kibbutz place.
Mm.
And so everything was shot on the same place. It was like a job every morning,
Mm.
every
Oh,
morning, every after in 3 hours, the sun was up, and it was like an oven.
okay. Well,
But
it looked beautiful. It looked gorgeous. I mean, congratulations on the perfect setting for this story. So I could even consider the location almost a character in itself. You know, it had personality. It was beautiful, and yeah, it really came across great. And you shot it very, very well.
thanks a lot. Yes, you know, the camera, uh, uh, how do you call it? Not cameraman, but the chief operator, chief director of photography,
Mm.
DP. Yes, it's he's half German, half Hungarian.
Mm.
He lives in Berlin, and mm, but I think he likes a lot Israel, and he put a lot of his soul inside.
Yeah, it definitely shows. Beautiful. Um, And the film deals a little bit with the art of baking bread. Uh, while filming, did you learn much about baking?
Yes, although we had some kind of contract, and this contract became a friendship with the owner of bakery,
Mhm.
of the very well-known bakery in Israel and in Tel Aviv, and mm, he explained us how to do the dough.
Mm.
He played little role there, like the help of the of the father of the old Abraham, and he explained us how to form, how to create, how to make the oven. And so every morning we had a bunch of new, freshly made bread,
Mm.
very crispy, very good, and you can feel how crispy and hot the bread was.
I could taste it already. That's great. Um, so what were some challenge? You mentioned some challenges, but what were some other challenges you faced on set?
You know, everything, every, everything is a challenge. Shooting a film, it's very special. It's a very special time. It's can difficult be explained because
Mm.
it is I don't know. As this world is imaginary, it doesn't exist really, and the oven is cold.
Hmm.
You put the dough you take from this oven, the real bread, but in reality, it is cold, and it's what it's some kind of parody of the cinema. You always have with your energy to make work the cold oven, to make to give emotion and to make the bread fresh and hot and but generally it was a love story. I was in love with Israel and I was in love with my crew, and there was no wars. Strangely, there are shooting when you have some little local
Hmm.
wars between the crew, but there everything was. But the main challenge for me was how to tell the story truthfully, because there is a lot of imagination, there is a lot of poetry, of poesy, and how to put it on the earth to make it real, to touch people. Yes.
Okay, that's quite a statement. um, now, I know this. You filmed this before the pandemic, but what has it been like for you creatively to work during the pandemic?
It was already, we did the film Pandemic to me already in editing. I just shot the film before pandemic, so uh, I just edited. I was alone with my editor, and I discovered that I've shot it too much. That my first version of film was about 4 hours. After I reduced it, squeezed it and squeezed it and squeezed it, and I'm still afraid that perhaps it's not too tough, not to understand. It was easy for you to see,
Mhm.
to look after the story. The story was simple for you to understand.
Mhm. Yeah. Very
Yes.
simple. Yeah, very easy to digest. Very anyone can appreciate and understand the story. It's universal.
Yes, it's very interesting because in Meir Shalev is the writer. He has Russian blood inside.
Mm,
He's not speaking Russian, and uh, he's totally Israeli. And he made his army service and all this, but still I think that he feels something. He is not like others, and so for him the story of having a Russian mother who really didn't quite understand it, who didn't really speak Hebrew. For him, it was some kind of uh, mm, challenge also, like a wound, and for him it was important to show this mixture of different people, of different blood, of different culture. They were inside his family, and at the same time, what is the problem of the family of um, of Esau, that for his father, who is 100% Israeli,
mm,
uh, his mother, with whom he's still in love with, he's still in love with her, but culturally she's alien for him, and
mm,
he is absolutely torn between her her Russian culture, her Russian soul, and he's very narrow-minded, Israeli, that only Jews have to live with Jews and make children with Jews. At the same time, he was in love with her, he hated her. And so this, the family is really a tortured family. And
mm. Yeah.
uh,
Mm,
so I think it's also very human. We know a lot of family like this. At the same time, it created very strange character of this writer who,
mm,
when he came back in Israel after 30 more 40 years of absence,
mm,
he's discovering the souvenir of his childhood, and he begin to be a real writer. Suddenly he feels something that he has to give to the paper, to give to the people. Yeah.
mm. Nice. Good description, sir. Um, Now, what do you hope audiences take away from the film?
Sorry?
What do you hope audiences take away from the film?
Look,
What's the message?
yeah, the message is difficult because there is no real message in life. Life is life. Life really has no goals. She's something of beautiful and jewel in itself, and at the same time, torture. The message is that you can come back.
Mm,
That you can come back, and you're.
that's it. Okay. Wow. Okay. Pavel, one more, actually two more questions. Are there any, this film is amazing, by the way. I loved it. It was just so powerful, so moving. And the story, the characters, the location, again, just every element fits. Every element is beautiful. And yeah, it's just a wonderful film.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I was a little anxious, so I'm
No,
really quite happy with your reaction.
sure. Are there any other projects you're working on now that you can talk about?
Ah, I'm now on some Russian serial, and I want to make a fairy tale mm, about the struggle of a real magician and of virtual magician. It's some kind of the struggle between a modern blogger who is living inside the computer in the spiritual world, uh, and a girl who really can make magic, but we never understand who can win, what is more powerful. It's something. So
Wow.
I invented the story. I think it's quite modern, and
It,
it's
yeah.
about, yes, it's about a boy who just fell into his iPhone,
Mhm.
and we have to take him from this. He's inside between the games and between all this side of. So I'm working on this project now.
That sounds wonderful. I hope to interview you again for that film.
Oh, I will be happy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So Pavel, one last question. How can people see Esau? How can people view this film? It's wonderful.
Look, because of pandemic, we don't have distribution now yet. We have to wait. We have to see how it will go on later. So uh, the release in United States is in reality our first release. I made several festivals already, but I don't see clearly the future of the film.
Mm.
I think it depends on the reaction of United States also. And we didn't speak about wonderful little Shira Haas, who is
Ah.
so beautiful and so different from unorthodox. Have you seen? Of course, you've seen
I've seen clips, and she's
unorthodox,
fantastic.
and she's quite different.
Yeah,
Here, she's such a beautiful and poetical girl. Yes.
she is beautiful. Do you plan on using her again in your future films?
With her,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Because I think there's a real synergy there. There's a real connection. You guys, you're behind the camera, she's in front, and it's just a perfect again teamwork. It's great.
Thank you. I'm happy you appreciate it.
So Pavel, I want to thank you so much for your time today. The film you saw, it's just a wonderful achievement, and you should be very proud of what you've done here. It's a great film.
Good.
Yes. Bravo, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So thank you again. And everyone at home, thank you for watching on your devices and at home. I'm Randy Unger, and this has been Under the Radar. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much.